Okay, I think we are live on both Instagram and Facebook. So, just gonna tell you guys that I am coming to you live from, this is the Bordeaux version of Live with Michelle. I am not even sure what that word means, so I don't even know if I just said something inappropriate, but we're coming from my bedroom, which I don't like to do. And I don't know if you noticed, I may look like I just rolled out of bed, which basically I did because it's been a day. Let me tell ya. There's no makeup here. I know Instagram, you're thinking, are you sure you didn't go heavy? Instagram has a better filter than Facebook. I look completely washed out on Facebook. So sorry, Facebook people. But this redness is, so let me tell you how the day started, then you'll understand why I am lit up on the cheeks like I've been drinking under a tree. I woke up this morning looking like Mike Tyson after a fight, which basically I think he looks the same before a fight. Neither is very appealing. But my eyes were, this one especially was swollen shut. My face was blown up. I was having an asthma attack. I was having an allergic reaction this morning, and it basically derailed my whole day. So I was going to say to you guys, Instagram and Facebook, your cameras are kind of far apart. So I feel like I'm going to be talking to two different people and trying to make eye contact with everybody. So just bear with me. But yeah, so allergic reaction, asthma attack, and what that means for me is, number one, no makeup in the eye region. It means redness from the medication and allergic reaction, I'm sure. It means different medications that make me simultaneously feel like a race car and like I want to fall asleep in a drunken stupor, again, under a tree. So we have different things going.
Different medications.
I asked him like 4 times, is your volume off? Husbands. So that is what's going on with me. But it doesn't stop there, y'all. The fun does not stop there. Not only was I doing that all day, but I had a tooth fall out. Don't believe me? Here it is. A tooth fell out of my face today. Was not even doing anything. Literally, I'm like, what is that in my mouth? Oh, it's a tooth. Now, it is not, I don't know if that's my tooth with stuff over it, because something you may not know about me, years ago, I had a benign tumor in the roof of my mouth, and so they had to do something with a tooth to get to it, and that's the tooth. So no pain, fortunately, but I'm kind of curious what that's going to mean to get it back. And thankfully it's not a tooth, you know, it could have been this too. So we're looking at the bright side here, but that's been my day. So I'm going to tell y'all, you're real lucky that I'm here with you, but I didn't want to miss. So let me say hi. Let's see. Joni. Hi. Becky, Deborah, Heather. Hi, Heather. Stephanie. Hi. Stephanie, you can relate to this kind of day and my teeth issues. I think she's been around me long enough to know that my teeth are a dumpster fire.
Amy Para, Heather Korb.
I don't see Amy on here. She's not on mine, but hi, Amy. Hi, Amy Para. She's my girl. So, are you guys ready to jump in and talk about this?
Jeff Miles representing the fellas.
Hi, Jeff. Hey, can anybody top my day? Anybody else wake up looking like Mike Tyson? Just curious. Anybody else have a tooth fall out for no reason? I wasn't even doing anything good like chewing on caramel. Just nothing. It just fell out. So, and yeah. So I spent my day, you want to know what I spent my day doing as I was trying to sleep and also calm my heart down from the medications? I watched Veronica Mars on Hulu. So there you go, Kristen Bell. Thank you very much for being there for me today. So, hi Stephanie on Instagram. Stephanie, you are on Facebook and Instagram. I mean, seriously, girl.
Maria Sepko is watching.
Hi, Maria. All right, so let's jump into this really good, fun topic, right? I can't be the only one who struggles with the inner critic. Hi, Shauna. You totally just missed my day, so you have to go back and watch the very beginning. All right, so I would love to hear from y'all what since this is our little safe group, it's not out there for the whole world to see. Would you be brave enough to tell me what are some of the negative things your inner critic says to you regularly? I'm not talking about the occasional thing, like when you mess up and that voice is like, you loser. We all kind of have that, and we have to be like, shut up. I'm not a loser. Made a mistake. I'm talking about the thing that the inner voice says on a regular basis that you hear, and you either believe it, or maybe through this week, I'm hoping you've decided, you know what, I'm going to start speaking up to that voice. I'm not going to be used to it anymore. You guys want to share what are some of the things? One person shared, I don't know if you guys saw it on the somewhere social media here, that they're not good at their job. They're not good enough to be good at their job. So that's an inner voice. Someone shared that they aren't worthy because they're overweight. I think I can relate to that one a little bit. So Shauna is sharing on Instagram that my skin is old and makes me look ugly. Okay. So I so want to do the thing that people do when they say something like that, where you want to be like, are you kidding me? Like, look at you. And I would totally say that to you, Shauna. Well, actually, Shauna, Instagram is probably live, but I think it doesn't stay but for 24 hours. I don't know about that. But Facebook is private. This is a private group on Facebook. So we all want to say to somebody when they say what their inner critic, we want to be like, no, that's not true. But it's like, why can't we do that for ourselves? Or why can't we, even if it's, like if it's a weight thing and it's like, yeah, I could stand to lose a few pounds. Why does the critic have to be so ugly, mean, and destructive instead of encouraging? I think a lot of people think that fighting the inner critic means just saying, no, shut up, I'm not. That doesn't really help. I have talked about this before in this arena, that when we believe powerful lies, we have to combat that with powerful truth. And saying, nuh-uh, it's not true, shut up. Even though we do need to stand up and say that, I don't know if you guys saw my little soapbox post yesterday. We do need to stand up for ourselves. We do need to say to our inner voice, you need to take a seat. You need to hush your mouth. You need to get back. You're not my friend. We need to say those things, but we also need to gird ourselves. Woo, breaking out the New Testament here. Gird ourselves with powerful truth. So, Shauna, do you mind if I use you because I'm not seeing Facebook, I'm not getting to see their responses.
Jeff Miles says, I always think I don't make the right decisions. So the inner voice is, I didn't do the right thing just now or back then.
Okay, so Shauna says she doesn't care if I use her. So let's everybody help with what Jeff has put out there about how I feel like I'm always making the wrong decision. So instead of an unpowerful truth would be, no, you don't. Okay, that's true, but it's not powerful enough to stop the inner voice. So let's help Jeff out by giving him a powerful comeback, a powerful snap back. I gotta tell you guys a story about where snap back means for me. It's not just some R&B song or wherever that came from. But with Shauna, I'm going to start with Shauna's, because Shauna says, I feel like my skin is old. I think that what she
Old
said?
Dominion. That was an Old Dominion song.
My skin old and makes me look ugly. So a powerful truth to that, Shauna, would be that I am a beautiful person, that it is more than just my skin that makes me beautiful. Yes. You can also say my skin does not look old because I am only 24, right? Shauna, you're only 24. So therefore, my skin is youthful. And my beauty is not just skin deep. My beauty comes from within. That is speaking powerful truth to that. And I know at first you're like, but I want my skin to be beautiful. I want to be known for. Yes, I know. We all want to be a walking Olay, oil of Olay commercial, but it really isn't about that. And what we really need to be believing is something deeper than that. That our beauty does come from somewhere more than just our outward beauty, because that does fade. We know that. So does anybody have any words of powerful truth that they could share with Jeff? Because I would love for you guys to kind of do some of the teaching in here.
While that's happening, I don't want to miss Maria Sepko. She says, mine is, you're so annoying, even your kid doesn't want to be around you. I felt that before.
Wait, can you say that again?
You're so annoying, even your kid doesn't want to be around you.
Okay, one, Maria, I wish I could, that's on Facebook, right?
Facebook, yes.
I don't know why Facebook stops letting me see things. It's annoying.
Jennifer Jones, Krista Colosso,
Maria.
Christina Freeman, they're all watching.
Hi, guys. Hi, all of you that he just said, if you could hear him. Maria, first of all, here's the truth for that. Number one, I think the same thing, and I actually think there's some truth to it, that we're fussing at our kids. I'm fussing at my kids, and I can see it in their face. They're just like, I wish you'd go in a closet. They probably think something worse, but we'll just stick with that. So I think when we're thinking that, it's more of a reminder that we want to be something different to our kids. And I think that's the truth that we need to gravitate towards. So it really does take a little bit of stop and listen and discipline to say, okay, voice, you just told me that you think my kids think I'm annoying. Why? Why are you saying that to me? Because if we were walking down a hallway and a person said, your kids find you so annoying, would we just keep on going and be like, yeah, I know? No, we would not. We would be like, excuse me? Why did you just say that? Or we might say, I don't think so, and here's why. So I think that we have to take almost as if it's a physical human person talking to us, and we need to stop and say, hold up. So snap back. This is what I envision. When my older kids were little, I was working from home. I've always worked from home, but they were supposed to be upstairs napping, and my oldest has a very strong protective gene. And I had a colleague over, and we were working on a technique where you do snapping, where you say something when you're working with somebody and you snap next to their head. And we were working and training in this technique. And my son had been sneaking down the stairs listening. And so my colleague was saying something, and he was snapping, and it looked to my son that he was snapping in my face. And my son, who was maybe 4 at the time, popped up, and he had been watching for probably 5 minutes, so he'd been seeing the snapping in my face for a while, and he was like, Mama, you snap back at him. Don't let him do that. So now when I talk to my kids or myself or Tom, and somebody needs to stand up and say something, they need to snap back. You snap back at them. Don't you let somebody snap in your face. So okay, Becky, thank you.
Sherry Carter's watching. Betsy Boyd Mead is watching.
Hi, Sherry. Hi,
Christina
Betsy.
Freeman.
Hi, Christina.
Jennifer Jones Paget.
Yeah, I think I said Jennifer. Or no, maybe I didn't. Hi, Jennifer.
Haley Johns Vining.
I'm trying to read these. So Becky said that sometimes you feel, I know that I'm too much for people, but here's the thing, I'm not too much for the right people. Oh, yes, Becky. Something has been rubbing off on you, girl. That is right. That is truth for me to remind myself. That is right. When we feel that we are too much or too little, because I feel like some big personalities like mine and Becky, I know Becky, y'all know Becky, we can easily feel like we overwhelm or we're too much. And you know what? There's a lot of truth in it. There are people who are like, please step back. But then there are people who are maybe more on the introverted side, who you can oftentimes feel like, I'm not enough. I'm too little of a person for them. And so you feel like you're constantly chasing, or you're constantly having to puff up, or you're constantly have to bring bigger game. And I want you to know something. That's a lie too, because who we are is who we were created and designed to be, and what we bring to the table, y'all, is enough. This is a table. It's enough. You are enough, who you are and how you are. The other people have to adjust. You guys have seen, I think, probably that Chick-fil-A analogy that some mom wrote about all the Chick-fil-A sauces, and how she couldn't believe how everybody didn't just love Chick-fil-A sauce, the original sauce, but there were people who like barbecue and people who like ketchup and who Polynesian and ranch. And it's like, but Chick-fil-A is the best. But realizing that, you know what, we don't all have to be Chick-fil-A sauce for everybody. There is sauce for everybody, and we don't have to meet that. And thank God for that. Thank God that we don't have to be everything for everybody. So I think that is really good. I'm glad you shared that, Becky, because we need to know that truth, that it's like, we need to acknowledge what is true, even though we might not want to hear it, is that, yeah, I might be too big of a personality. I might be too much. They might not love everything I bring. That's okay. I am for the people who need what I have. I am enough. I am exactly the right thing for the people who want what I have. And I don't need everybody to love it. Becky is hear me. She is from the back row. So any other comments, Tom, that I'm missing on Facebook, since Facebook is messing me up?
No, you are up to date on Facebook.
All right, guys, speak up. Nobody has anything they want to say to Jeff? This whole missing tooth thing is, I want to just put my tongue in that hole. You don't hear that all the time. On here, I want to put my tongue in. Oh, shh. Just stop talking, Michelle. Tom has his hands over his eyes.
So I need to clarify something.
Tongue in the hole? I'm turning redder.
With our inner voice, we need to validate that the inner voice is speaking instead of ignoring the inner voice. The inner voice does have a grain of truth to it, but it's all in how we respond to our inner voice.
Not always. Not always is. I hope, did everybody hear? Can you give me thumbs up if, not everybody, but can people tell me if you heard Tom's response? Since he's off camera, I don't know if the microphone's picking up everything.
That would be one impressive microphone. Be that directional.
So Tom is saying, do we always acknowledge that there's a grain of truth to the inner voice? And that my answer is no, because not all the time is there a grain of truth. But do we always acknowledge that inner voice? Yes, because the only way that we can shut it up or get it to move on or to speak differently, which I think is the bigger goal, is to change what the voice is saying. We want our inner voice to be our cheerleader. We want our inner voice to be our inner motivator, our inspiration. That is why we have it. But because the world gives us such trauma and such drama and such hurt and woundedness, the voice gets tainted. So we have to work really hard to change what the voice is saying so that it becomes our cheerleader, that it becomes our best friend. It becomes the things that we would say to people we love dearly, like our children, our spouses, our best friend. We want our voice to turn into that. So that's why I say, it's like if you're walking down a hallway and somebody said something ugly or nasty to you, whether it was based in truth or not, we wouldn't let them get away with it. So you have to always acknowledge the inner voice. We have to stop and say, excuse me, what did you just say? Or we have to say, I don't think so. That is not what I'm buying today. So we always acknowledge it. Now, if there is a grain of truth to it, or if it's something that we can't change, like our personality, okay? So you're too much, your personality is too big. That's when we speak back and say, that's okay. That's when we acknowledge the grain of truth. Or when it says to us, you need to lose a bunch of weight, sister. There could be a grain of truth in that, but we don't get away with saying it to us like that, because would you say it to your friend, your mom, your sister, somebody, your daughter that way? I sure hope not. So you need to change the way it talks to you. We might say, hey, you are wonderful. You are beautiful. Let's get healthy. Let's be in a place where we are satisfied with ourselves and our body. Okay? That's the goal. That's what's healthy.
Mindset is very popular nowadays, and with mindset, it's all about changing a phrase by just adding the word yet to it. So if you're not feeling your healthiest, I'm not healthiest yet. Or I don't understand yet, meaning that this might not be where I am right now, but in the future, I'm going to understand, I'm going to get it, I'm going to catch up. So just adding that one word is what the mindset is. That's as popular right now with students and what teachers are teaching students to think.
That's a great tool. I hope you guys all heard that. Is adding the word yet. I am not where I want to be yet, but I'm getting there. So maybe I don't have the job that I want to have, or I haven't reached the goals in my job or in my life yet, but I am on my way. I am getting there. That's a great tool. Thanks for sharing that, Tom. The other thing, it's important that we have an understanding of where the voice comes from. So, as Tom brought up, it's very important that we are acknowledging that the voice is there. Okay, so I've covered that. We have to acknowledge that the voice is there. Stop ignoring your inner critic, because what you're doing is you're just giving it more power. So stop ignoring it. You have to acknowledge where might it be coming from, because when we acknowledge, so Jeff, I would say to you, since nobody's really helping us out here with you, is you have to first figure out, why is your voice saying that to you? Why is it going for that maybe Achilles heel? Why are you sensitive to that you don't always make good decisions? I'm not exactly sure what his thing was. Jeff, help me out. So you have to ask yourself, where's it coming from? Why does my voice always kind of go there? Why does it always attack me in that area? So finding out helps us be able to speak powerful truth to that inner critic, to the inner voice. Things like trauma, false expectations. You guys heard me talk about this, I guess, on the video. Trying to be perfect and failing, comparisons, learned behavior, which I think probably the majority of our voice comes from just learned behavior. You know, I'm sure I read this today, and it's something that's constant. Be the voice in your kids' ear that you want them to hear, because we do tend to be the voice that they end up hearing. And so that terrifies me when you think about all the things that we say and yell and get mad at, and frustration, the things that we say to our kids, and it's like, what is gonna stick? And you know what, guys, things are gonna stick, because Tom and I don't know about y'all, Tom and I are not perfect parents. So I cringe at what it is that I said in a moment of weakness that's gonna stick, and that's gonna be something that my kid's gonna have to try to rewire when he's older. Something a teacher says, something that a playmate says, that it happens. It's because that's what happens in life, and it's the world. And I think, honestly, the fact that we get the chance to try to work on it and change it is really what is the really beautiful thing about living this life, is that we don't come out one way and we don't ever get to change. That to me is amazing. We get to become better. And that's what really excites me and sparks me, is the fact that we get to become better every day. We get to choose. Today, I get to be better today than I was yesterday. And that starts with that inner voice. So after this is all over, I have something I'm going to post for you guys in the group and on Instagram that came up for me this week that I did, and I've been saving it because I want to share it with you guys. It's this, I hope you guys can't hear my kids. It's this find a word, where there's all the letters in a box. And it says the first 3 words that you find describe really where your mindset is. And I thought, ooh, I want to play this game. So the first 3 words that I came up with, or that I saw, I'm not kidding, were care, connection, and compassion. I'm totally forgetting. That's how much but it was so amazing because care, connection, and compassion. And I'm sorry. Care, connection, and gratitude were my 3 words that came up. And I thought, oh my gosh, those are the things that I'm working on when I do my journal every day. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to go back and look at this and see, do I see negative words? And there are negative words in there. It took me a while to see them. So, because I thought, I only did that because I wanted to see if maybe they only filled it with, happy words. But there's all kinds of words in there. So I'm going to post it on Instagram and on Facebook in this group because I want you guys to see what 3 words come up for you. And I'd love for you to comment. But I think that all has to, I don't know if it's scientific, but I think it's a good gauge for where our mind is and where we're putting it. And we have to work at it, and we have to exercise it, and we have to be disciplined enough to do it. And that can't be, this is most true in dealing with this inner critic, the chronic negative voice that we have. So
Heather Korb, Cobb, and Jeff Miles are empathetic with what they're hearing in the background. Just a little bit.
You guys can hear all that?
Just hearing Peyton.
Okay.
So don't worry about that.
Thanks, guys. I was really hoping.
Also, Wendy Turner is watching.
Hi,
Tori
Wendy.
Adams is watching.
Hi, Tori.
A lot of agreement with what you're saying.
Sean, are you still with me over on Instagram? Becky? I have 2 people. Okay.
I'm excited about the 3 word.
Yeah, I really want to show you guys that. So let's talk about, we've talked a little bit about how to stop it. 1 is you have to acknowledge it. 1, you have to speak powerful truth, not just truth. Is everybody understanding? Are you with me on that? That you have to speak back to it, snap back, powerful truth, not just truth. So like saying that's not true, or nuh-uh, yes, that's true. Those are true statements, but they're not powerful enough. Okay. So everybody give me a thumbs up if you understand speaking powerful truth to powerful lies. Okay. Thank you. I see those hands. I don't know why the analogy of church has been in my brain for the last 3 days, but it has. So, this is one that I think people really struggle with because it goes against maybe the way we've been raised. I think I'm going to struggle with what I speak into one of my children after this. Oh boy. Is we have to compliment ourselves. We have to, I am not saying that we sit there like what's his name from Saturday Night Live that says in the mirror, you are, what was it he would say, Smalley? You guys remember what I'm talking about? The Saturday Night Live skit where he'd talk in the mirror to himself about how great he is and that he is, is it Stuart Smalley? Whatever.
I'm good looking, I'm above average.
Yeah, that. So I think that, hey, Wendy. Oh, Becky's saying, hey, Wendy. Alex and Sam, hi, Amy. Are you guys?
Christina Freeman is asking, confirming. So talk back to yourself.
Okay, so talk back to yourself. Wait, what?
She's saying, so talk back to yourself.
In which part? The complimenting your part or speaking back to your negative thoughts?
Let's just say both.
Okay, so yes, you have to speak up. Just like you wouldn't pass somebody in a hallway or a room who just said something ugly or nasty or rude. You speak back every time that inner voice wants to speak up and say something demeaning, ugly, rude, mean, not helpful, unproductive, whatever. if it says that to you, you need to speak back to it. Do not ignore it. That's the biggest part of the problem, is that we ignore it and we continue to give it power because we ignore it. So yes to that. And the second part of that is, yes, speak to yourself powerful truths. So also, just like if you had a friend who was struggling to see themselves for who they are, you would probably spend a lot of time or some effort in building them up. So build yourself up. Encourage yourself. Compliment yourself. Hey, what are your greatest features? You don't have to speak them out loud. You don't have to announce it to people, but you can tell yourself when you're starting to, like, my skin is sagging, or I'm getting wrinkles. Oh, but look at what I'm retaining. Hey, I can give you guys one. At least your teeth aren't falling out. I can make you feel better based on my day. So find the things that are going well, that are good, that you can appreciate about yourself, but also acknowledge what is the lie about what you are. We have wrinkles. You know what? Because I've lived a good life and I've done a lot of laughing, and I can appreciate the fact that I look good for my age. Okay?
Hey, a lot of what you're saying goes in with this day journal, such as when you tell yourself, I'm going to choose to feel, I feel grateful for my belief goals as if it's already true. I'm claiming victory over. And then at the end of the day, today I'm grateful for. So this is retraining your brain, changing that inner voice to the things that are true.
That's right. Tom's giving, I don't know if you guys caught that, but Tom is plugging my this day journal. And I think because he's been doing it now for a little bit and he's seeing how are you naturally starting to think about the questions in the this day journal even when you're not doing it?
Absolutely.
Because that is what I've noticed after doing it for a while, is that it changed. I was thinking about my questions in the middle of the day and reminding myself, hey, you get to choose how you feel. Today, I have to tell y'all, a day like today would have really sent me into just probably depression, just for the day of feeling like this day, because I didn't get to do any of the things that I had on my to-do list or things I had planned, and I wasn't happy about it. So let me be really clear. I was not happy about it, and the medicine makes my heart beat so fast that I get anxious about, and I couldn't even I was like, what am I anxious about? I'm not anxious about anything. And so I had to talk myself through that. But a day like today would have really sent me kind of in a like a toilet bowl circle. But I handled today better than I would have a year ago. And I really have to say, I think it's because I've been doing the journal. So
it brings Heather Korb Musgrave joy when my kids tell me I'm pretty and the best mom in the world. At least to them, I'm doing okay, right?
Yes. Hey, and it's not just at least to them. Sister, if our kids tell us they're having the best day ever and that we're the best mom, I think you should take it as if somebody, I wanted to say the president, but don't do that. Somebody really big, the Queen. The Queen wrote you that letter, because in the world of our kids, that's who we are. We are the royalty to them, and if they give us that, now I know you have to play both sides when they're like, you're the worst person ever, I hate this day, but we also know the perspective in which they speak those things. So I'm going to say there's a double standard here. Take it for what it is, and I think other people can be encouraged by you being a great mom. All right, Tom's giving me the wrap up. I just don't want to cut anybody off. I think this was a great topic. Thank you for turning out. Any other questions or statements that you see? All the thumbs up. Is that to Tom's wrap it up thing? Try not to. I don't know if you guys can see where my tooth fell out. I don't want you to see that. Any other? I don't think you can see it though.
They're looking for it.
All right, so y'all, I can't tell you what.
Heather Musgrave says, "Oh, yay! It's your birthday week."
It is my birthday week. How funny. You know, something that was making me laugh today is that yesterday, I don't know if y'all saw my post, I was on cloud freaking 9 because I'm like beating on the thing here. It was day 4 and I had a birthday cake with a group that I meet with, and then I got my Starbucks cups, a whole sleeve of them. So I was really thinking this is going to be awesome, and then today happened, but it's okay. It is okay because tomorrow starts my birthday weekend and we have a lot of fun things planned. I got to figure out how to get my tooth back in because we're having like an unofficial high school reunion. I do not want to show up without a tooth. All right, Tom is giving me the second wrap it up. All right, y'all. Thank you for coming, showing up, bringing your stuff. I hope this topic hit home with you. And feel free to share those posts or the things that you see. Share it with people, encourage them. I am not sure what next week's topic is. I haven't quite decided. Today was supposed to be the day, and haven't figured that out. So you'll see it soon enough, I promise. I love you guys. Have a great weekend. Happy birthday week to y'all. Enjoy my birthday week. Bye. Okay. Oh, this is the part that's always kind of crazy. Ending on Facebook.